Here we are again with the Uncharted speedboat, and this is what we accomplished last time. And since then I have unwrapped and brought in a few more pieces. Close to the end, I think all we have left to do after this is the windows. I brought in the chair and I've textured that. It was just pretty straightforward. There's nothing much there, but we're going to move on. All these things are done by materials there. There's quite a lot of materials. So we're going to start working on the console. So to do that, however, I am going to take something like the inner trim here, and I'm going to use this plastic dusty. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to come over to the console and I'm going to paste that on. So that's going to go on there. In fact, we can just maybe have a look just at that stuff. You can see that's on there. All right, let's view everything. For the moment, I think I'm going to leave that, and I'm also going to want that material on. Let's see, on these door panels. But I think we're going to cut that. Let's see. All right. I'm going to leave that there. Let's go back to something. I want some of the dirt. What do I want? Trim inner. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to grab that dirt. And then come back to the console. And I'm going to paste that on top. And then actually I'm going to put that up there. And let's leave that on that. Yeah, okay. Just get some of that in there on the console. Let's see if I can change the lighting just to make it a little easier to see. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so what I want to do, I think, maybe what I'll do first is on these door panels. Let's do a paint layer, and I'm going to use only the normal. Let me come over to my hard surfaces, and maybe we'll grab this one. Let's just see what that's like. Put that up to hard. And let's see what this is like around in between those two, maybe a bit smaller. So something like there. Maybe we'll do it on this one as well, maybe a little smaller. Yeah, not too much smaller. Maybe one there. I'll go with that for now. Okay, so I'm going to call this layer normal. And am I able to just paste? Do I still have that dirt layer? Yeah, I do. Okay. I actually wanted the dirt layer on there as well. Okay. And let's just lower that a bit. If that's, is that? No, I wanted, that's on the inner. I just want to go back, be back and forth on this dirt here. Let's just fade that out a bit so it's not quite as speckly. I don't think you'll see that much depending on the lighting, but let's come back to the door panels. And for this normal, I'm going to add an anchor point so I can get some of that dirt in there. Come to the dirt generator, scroll down to micro details, and where it says micro normal, make that true, and then down here, micro normal, choose the anchor point, and then just watch here, you'll see it darken up. Choose normal, and it just puts a bit of dirt in there. Okay, so we have those. Hopefully that looks okay. And let's go on here. Now I should have something called panels. That's those things. I'm going to come to the panel layer and come to my Smart Materials, wood, and let's see if I've got a wood walnut. That's the one that I'm thinking of using. On layers. I drag that in and it's going to go there. Alright, and I'm going to come in here and come to the base layer, and I just want to drop the roughness down to about halfway. And there we can see it. Maybe even a little bit lower there. So you get a bit of a shiny kind of a thing on there for that touch on the console, the dash, whatever. Let's try throwing in that dirt as well. I'm just going to leave that there, but I want these bolts to be the same as the console, I think. So what I'm going to do is come back to the console, grab this layer here, come back to the panels, and just right above there I'm going to paste that on. And actually let's put that underneath. And so let's do a black mask on the wood walnut, and then polygon fill. I'll choose mesh. I'll just select these. Is that the only ones? Let's see. So I get my bolts in there looking like that. Okay, so far so good. Now, I'm missing one. There's this one here. There, that's right. Okay, I'm going to save. Now, right now, I believe all my textures are back at 1024. Just easier to work, and I'll bring them up later. Is that going to be a dark enough groove in there? You're not going to see it very well. Let's do that. I was just talking about in here if I need to put some black, but we'll see. I want to double check that I've got dirt on the console. Yes, I do. All right. Well, at any rate, let's go on. Now, I have this one equip. That's this stuff. So let's go to the equipment layer, and I'm going to go to, I think, materials, metal. Let's see. If I use a, what if I use steel rust? How bad does that look? Dark. It's not really going to match this, which is that other one is looking pretty dark there. But I kind of, I was thinking of just using the aluminum, which is quite a bit brighter, and then taking this down to about there and adding a filter. I do this all the time with the metals, just adding that brushed look. It might not be great for this. It's not bad, because I think I'm going to do mostly the steering wheel like that. That seems to be what it looks like in much of the images that I see. So on the equipment, what I'll do is I'll add that dirt. Let's just grab some dirt. This one's I think a tame one, so we'll try this and we'll see if I need to bring it up or down. Paste that. Just a little bit of darkness. That looks a little bit better. I could go a little bit higher on that, on both of these. Just a little bit like that. All right, and if that's the case, so this will not be staying like this. So I'm on the equipment layer, and that's dirt. Okay, I want some black on here, like a rubber grip, but I'm not going to do the pattern. It's so small, you'll never see it. So I'm just going to put a black, like a black plastic. Let's just go for plastic, maybe. Okay, so in regular materials, plastic. Let's choose that. Let's throw that in between there. And let's change that. I don't even need that. A little bit shinier to sort of a black color, and I want it. Okay, so this is called this black. I'll put a black mask on, not a bitmap, no, a black mask, and I'll come over here to polygon fill, and I want it on the inside of here. So I'm going to switch to here and drag over like that. Let's see if I'm missing anything. Let's check it out. I think I might be. So I want that there, and I also on these buttons here. So let's go back to here, and let's go here and mesh. I think I'm going to do each of these, and I'm not going to keep this as metal. I don't think, unless it looks good. We'll check it out in a second. Let's see. I kind of wanted just the console color. So do I have a? I don't have a console. So let's grab that plastic dusty again. Come back to the equipment layer. Come here, and I'm going to paste it, and with a black mask, and I'm going to want it on that and that. I just think it'll show up a bit better like that. Okay, so like that, right? That's going to be all metal. These buttons down here, though, where is that? Is that on the console layer? That's on the console layer. Okay, so come to the console layer, and I want that black stuff that we're using for the buttons in there. So I got to go back to here, and this is black. So I'm going to copy that. I think I want those in black. I don't know for sure. Console, right? Yes, console. Let's come here and paste that. Let's clear that mask, and now select those buttons and just have them just as something else you can sort of see. Okay, good so far. While I am here, no, that's gauges. I'll work on gauges in a bit. I want to put like a white dot on these buttons. So back to equipment, right? Yes, equipment. How should I do this? I got the black dusty here. No, I'll just do it as another layer. So I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm just going to put it up above, and I'm going to clear the mask, and I'm going to change this to, I just really need color. Change this to a white color, whitish color. And yes. And I'm going to use a brush, a hard brush, and small. Let's just get in here and see what we got here. Yeah, like that, kind of like that. So let's call this white dot. And how do I want to put it? Do I want to put it on each of these ones that are down and up? I could do that. I don't know if it makes sense, but we'll find out in a minute. You know, it doesn't really matter that much. You're barely going to see it anyhow. Yeah, whatever. Nah, I don't like it like that. Let's put it in the upper position of all of these. Some of it you'll see more than others. It's just a thing. All right, so far so good. What are we missing? We'll bring this up in resolution for these buttons to work a bit better. Okay, so we got the books, we got the gauges to do. So let's have a look at the gauges. I'm going to want this black, so I'm going to copy this over to the gauges, and I'm going to paste that there. But I got to clear the mask, and I'm only going to select this outer ring here. here. There. And the upper part is actually glass, and I've got something underneath there. I'm going to work on that in Blender. All right, so I'm not going to do any more on that piece right now. I'm going to leave it as is. The only thing is I may not be consistently putting dirt on all layers. I'll come back to here. I'm going to grab this dirt, and let's make sure that it's on everywhere I need it. It's on the equipment. I'll put it on the gauge layer as well. It'll just create a little bit of a shadow around it because it's not too intense, which is fine. And I think I'm okay with it everywhere else. Let's just make sure it's on the equipment layer. I just did that. Okay, so books. I just want to do this real quick because they're not going to be overly visible. All right. So for the books, I was thinking if I just type leather, and if I grab, what about this one? I was thinking more this one, but I just don't want it too intense. You see that? And so I'm going to come in here. First, I will make one a brown color. Let's drop the roughness a little bit. And see if I just take these down, I'll get rid of some of that. Get rid of that. And there's the color. And what I thought I would do is I'm going to add another fill layer just with that sort of default color, because again, you're not really going to see it. A black mask, and let's try that. No, let's not do that. Let's try that. Yeah, that's better. And I just want to get that sort of white in there for the paper, because at the very most you might see, you might see that if I do a shot from there, and that's probably okay. I mean, I don't need to show the separate paper. If you want to put more stuff on it, you can. So what I would do is I'm going to duplicate this leather layer, and I'm going to change the color of this one. Just make it different, and I'll put on a black mask, and this one is going to be, maybe that book. So you got a couple of different colors. Not certain that brown one looks that good. And then you could do any other designs you want on it. I'm going to leave it at that. And although I'm going to put on some dirt on this as well. So what is this? This is paper. I'll just call this the paper. I don't need to change these that much. We'll grab that dirt again and come to the books and paste it. I want it too dark. That's fine, actually. Just so that everything gets its little bit of dirt. Okay. I mean, I've taken some liberty in designing this. It's not exactly the cockpit or whatever you call it, the cabin area of the Uncharted speedboat. Some of it's kind of similar. So I could do other things, but, I think I'm going to leave it like that. I was considering putting some of this black on the steering wheel, but really I think the steering wheel that I tend to see is just all metal, and it's simple. So let's go on, and I think the last thing here, at least for this video, is actually, no, there is another thing. Yeah, okay. So let's go on and do these cabin lights. All right, so these lights round. And I'm going to use, actually, once again, this plastic dusty. Copy that, lights round. Paste that. I want to double check that that's going on there. Yeah, it's on there. All right, and we're going to I'm going to add just a basic emission on this, and so I'm going to create a fill layer, and I need to add an emission channel because there isn't one. Base color, height, roughness, metallic, normal. Ah, there is an emissive. Okay. Normally that's not there. All right. So I would add it like that, emissive. Okay. And then when you come over here, emission is available. So I'm going to choose color and emission, and I'll make the emission. You can see what's happening there. Let's actually turn that down. And let's make sure that post effects is not on right now. All right, I'll start with that, and I'm going to add a black mask, and over here I'm going to use this, and that's why, you know, I tend to. Oh, did I not? I guess I did. I think I did have a seam in there because I knew I would just be selecting that and it would be like that. So let's bring everything back, and I would have these cabin lights. Now, is that replicated across all of them? There's not that many. There's 2 there, and I think there's 2 back here. Ah, these ones are not. It's not happening for these. Okay, so let's come in here. That should have. Huh. Okay, I guess I just have to select that. And that's it. So those are the cab. I don't know. I'll call them cabin lights or lights around because they're not only in the cabin. And so you got that going. Good. I'm going to save that. I think the last thing that I want to do for this video is going to be up here on these lights. I've actually got it done. All right, as you can see, like that. All right, and so what I did there is I'll come to the roof. Let's say I didn't have that. Let's hide that, and I'll show you. Okay, so I've got the lights there, and I wanted to have this glass-like effect on it. So I created another folder. I just wanted to do it in a folder. Let's get that up there. I'm going to take this glass courtyard and throw that on there. I'll add a black mask to the folder and just select this part here. Let's actually remove that mask. So I've got that there, and I'm just gonna get rid of that dirt. So I've got this glassy metal sort of dirty thing on there. And on this glass layer, I'm going to add a black mask with a fill. And in the grayscale of the fill, I'm going to search for the tile generator. You can do this lots of different ways. I'm going to use a tile generator. So I'll have that. I'm going to increase the tiling on there. But I also want to come back to the glass, and I want to, on the height layer, I'm going to bring the height up. Like that. Okay, and so I'll come back to the tile generator here, and let's see here. Play with the scale. Maybe what I'll do is, I don't want that. I'm going to increase the scale there, and then I'm going to increase the scale here. You know, just to give some kind of interesting effect here. And let's come to this base layer here. Let's get rid of we can get rid of that. Maybe we get rid of that. And make this a little bit more like that. And maybe I just want to come right back here for the moment and have a look at this scale. Let's see if this scale, just pull it apart a little bit. All right, just to give an effect on the lights. And in fact, maybe that metallic, generally, you know, I would tend to have that on to give it that effect. Unless that shiny reflective, so it looks a little bit like glass, and then you can play with the scale to what you think is going to be reasonable. And height, bring it all the way up. Okay. If you wanted, you could put an emission behind there. I just want that effect, so there's a little bit of texture when you look at it from, say, something like that. And let's try just looking at a different color. I just want to come to this one. This is a warm color, and this is what we're getting. Okay, keeping in mind that the textures are at 1024, I think I won't bother to go through switching everything for the moment. It's not going to make that much difference. It's going to make everything a little sharper, but we have a little bit more work to do still. All right, we still got to do the windows and then any other final thing. Yeah, so we have a little bit more work to do, but not that much. And then we'll set this up in Blender. We'll have to get all the materials into Blender and do some lighting, and that'll be it. All right, so in the next video, I'll do some final tweaks if any are needed. They always are. And we'll get to those windows and we'll wrap up this Uncharted Speedboat. Thanks so much for watching. Take care and see you again soon.